Hello. I'm David McGard. This is Property Value, where I talk about commercial real estate focused on South Florida, what's going on in the headlines. It is Tuesday, April 5th. It is Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. How are you? Let's get into some headlines, see what's popping in the area. Let's not start here. I wanted to start one over. Let's transfer here. What are we doing? I want to read about this. Comes out in the Real Deal. Bring it up. There you go. Investors flock to short-term rental condo projects in Miami. Now, what does that mean? That means that the typical condo project has a HOA or condo association, and majority of condo associations here in Miami say no short-term rentals. So what's short-term rental? Usually someone that can come in and rent for less than 30 days. Most of these condo associations say that a renter has to rent for, if they allow renting, they have to rent for 12 months, at the minimum 6 months. So of course, no Airbnb or VRBO would be allowed. But the new model coming out, who we've been in our team has been looking in the Brickell area, and the developers are developing these towers of 200, 300, 400 units that do have the option of short-term rentals, and that's being passed over to the condo purchaser. And now these condo projects are being built faster because of this benefit to the owner. Now, most of these owners are out-of-town owners and are investors themselves, so they don't mind having short-term rentals or people coming and going throughout the building. Usually condo towers or condominium projects that have a majority of owners that are going to occupy that unit don't really want to have a neighbor who is always changing every day or every week with some kind of renter. So there's a different mindset with condos associations that allow short-term rentals and condo associations that don't allow it. And we're seeing that there is a big spike in condo developers who are building these projects that are going to allow the short-term renters. So let's get into this article. Investors flock to short-term rental condo projects in Miami. It says developers of short-term rental friendly condo projects in Miami are experiencing quick sellouts as investors and end users flock to more affordable units. We're seeing that the sellout is taking around 24 months for these projects, where a few years ago, a regular condo sellout might take anywhere from 36 to 48 months, depending on when they started marketing. The project offers units priced as low as $300,000. Now, $300,000 is not going to get you much in Miami. It might get you a studio or a smaller micro one bedroom around 500 square feet. And these towers, though, will be loaded with amenities, first class gyms, first class pools, usually somewhere to wash your dog, parking. So projects will offer units priced as low as $300,000. It's close to what a starter home would cost. Now, a starter home would cost in Miami-Dade around $450,000 to $500,000. In a market that has become out of reach for so many prospective buyers and renters, that appeals to investors who are snapping up to generate rental income, experts say. With inflation, people like multifamily as an investment because the rents change every year. It's a hedge against inflation, because if inflation's going up, all I have in 12 months, I can raise the rent to coincide or correlate with that inflation hike. Not everyone is in the position to buy $1 million condo. Construction lenders are also eager to provide loans to developers with such strong pre-sales, though developers are challenged by rising construction costs and supply chain issues. The only thing that could slow down the market, the only thing that could slow the market down is the real fear of rising construction costs, said Craig Studunsky, CEO of Aventura-based ISG World. I guess he's not afraid of higher cost of capital as well. There's just no way to control the rising cost of commodities. Until those rising costs plateau, you're going to see a lot of developers postpone that start of some of these projects for totally understandable reasons. If they start postponing today with the rising interest rates, and with the Fed saying they're going to hike that rate 6 to 7 times going to 2023, these projects might never get out of the ground, and the land might just be turned over to the next developer in the next cycle. In greater downtown Miami, more short-term rental condos are now in the pipeline than traditional units, according to recent ISG World Miami report, which shows nearly 3,000 traditional condos and over 4,400 short-term rental condos marketed for sale. At least 2 more projects will be launched soon, bringing that total closer to 5,500 units, Studnicki added. There is a high level of competition among these buildings in a neighborhood that never had these before, he said. Planned projects with short-term rental options include Related Group, ROVR Development, and BH Group's District 225 Tower. The developers are partnering with Airbnb on the 343-unit condo building at 225 North Miami Avenue in downtown Miami. Demand has been high. It sold out within 2 months of launching sales in October, with a total sellout of about $250 million, said Eric Fordin, a managing director of Miami-based Related. The developers are expected to break ground in April and have the construction financing lined up. It sold out in 2 months. That sounds hard to believe. Now, I don't know how long they've been marketing for. Prior to even 2 months, 48 days. God bless them. That's all I got to say. God bless them. Sounds a little exaggerated. But hey, these are in the market, and investors do love this product. And I think that we're going to see a lot more of this. So let's pivot over to another product that people really love as well, and it is self-storage facilities. This article states self-storage facility breaks ground in North Miami Beach with $18 million loan. This is by Brian Bendel of the South Florida Business Journal. He states, Schulman Properties broke ground on a self-storage facility in North Miami Beach with a $17 million construction loan. They got a loan to build it for $17 million. The loan was provided by Pacific Western Bank. And let's see, blah, 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 blah. The site was approved for a 7-story self-storage facility of 163,000 square feet with 1,000 individual climate-controlled units. 1,000 climate-controlled units, 163,000 square foot. Construction loan at $17 million. Now, the developer purchased the vacant property for $5.2 million in August 2021. It is in a federal opportunity zone, so the developer may realize significant tax benefits from the project. According to self-storage, now this is what's interesting. This is why I wanted to read it, just for this little clip right here. We just read about what's going on in condos and how developers are now building condos that are including Airbnb short-term rentals. Now you have self-storage, another hot commodity. And it says, according to Storage Cafe, a record 77 million in self-storage properties were sold in Miami market in 2021. The 9th highest mark in the nation. Miami has 5 square feet of storage space per capita, which is less than the national average of 7 square feet. So we're lower than the national average. If I'm a developer and you say, oh, we're lower than the national average, what does that mean? You can build more. Over the past year, the average cost of a 10 by 10 foot storage unit in Miami was $182 a month, a 26% annual increase. The national average was $128 a month. This is why I think this paragraph is so Important. We're below the national average for a square foot that's built here in Miami-Dade, South Florida. But we're above the average on what you can achieve per unit for self-storage. And the annual rental rate year over year has grown 26%. That's higher than multifamily. Everyone loves multifamily. Everyone's been talking about how the rental increase and rental growth in multifamily. Now, it's not sustainable, but wow, what a pop. 26%. Self-storage is one to watch. People love self-storage, though. Who doesn't like self-storage, right? Everyone likes to buy stuff and hoard their junk, and they just don't have enough room, especially with condos being built smaller, less closet space. People taking back, and then if you buy a house, an older house, most of the garages have been built into another ADU or additional dwelling unit. People need to put some of their junk, Christmas stuff, Halloween stuff to decorate the house. Self-storage, 26% year over year increase per unit above the national. Time to build. Last but not least, switch it up. We talked condos, residential. We talked short-term self-storage, industrial. And now we're going to talk about a little bit of office. And this headline states, One Biscayne Tower sells powers Miami office market in uncertain time. Prestigious 38-story building sells for, wait for it, $225 million. Pretty big number. The article by Jack Whithouse, CoStar News, says One Biscayne Tower sale was seen as a turning point in Miami last year. The 50-year-old building is among downtown's most prestigious offices and offers views of the beautiful Biscayne Bay, and the $225 million sale in June was taken as a bullish sign for office investors in an uncertain time as companies' employees work from home during the pandemic. They keep seeing this uncertain times, but here in South Florida, we've been open. It's April. That's 4 months into 2022. All of 2021 was open in South Florida. So we've been back in the offices. Not so uncertain down here in South Florida. Maybe in other parts of the country, that's for sure. But in South Florida, I don't know about so much uncertainty. So it goes on to say the property, CP Group, which owns roughly 2 million square feet of office space in downtown Miami, have been tracking the building at 2 Biscayne Boulevard for years because it was one of the few large-scale opportunities downtown to renovate and raise rents. Buyers emerge. Owner Dow was quietly marketing the 38-story, roughly 690,000 square foot Class A tower to a few firms, but CP Group, along with partners Sabal Capital Partners and Rialto Capital Group, prevailed. Looks nice. Class A, maybe Class A views. Definitely not Class A amenities, what they're being built right now. Let's read on. More demand. Since closing, more than 50,000 square feet has been leased at One Biscayne Tower, with another 40,000 square feet of deals in the pipeline. Well, that's a total of 90,000 square feet, but there's 690,000 square feet. That's a lot to go, guys. The new owners are in process of upgrading the floors and modernizing the building. The tower currently features a renovated lobby, a digital directory with a QR code and fitness center, and CP Group representative declined to disclose what the future amenities will be. So they say Class A, but they want to upgrade the floors and modernize the building. Let's just say at best it's Class B. Maybe it used to be Class A 50 years ago. Could be closer to Class C. Miami office space features 10% average vacancy rate, lower than the national average at 12.2, according to CoStar data. The market's average annual rent is $41 per square foot, full service, well above the national average of $34 per square foot. In fact, the Miami office market saw the 6th highest annual rent growth in the nation as of March 20th, Per CoStar data, One Biscayne was about 65% leased at the time of sale, according to CoStar data. 65%, that's well below the Miami average of 10%. That doesn't sound too much like a Class A asset. What they're saying, to finish up the article, the answer to this question is still evolving as employees begin to return to the office. Are they? Are they just not returning to this building because maybe it needs to be renovated? This was said by Brett Reese, Senior Vice President of CP Group, said about what tenants want in their office space. But one theme we are certain of, the need for quality, amenities, space. Well, I guess they got a lot of work to do with this building if the biggest thing for tenants to come back to the property is quality. I'm David Magard. You've been listening to Property Value. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.